See. Hey everybody, looks like we're live. I'm Jon Bobrow, CEO of Move38 and creator of Blinks. And I wanted to, first of all, start off our stream this week with a huge thank you to everybody in the community who has been just giving glowing reviews of Blinks. We're so excited to make this holiday season so special for so many people. And this week, I was delighted to see that Blinks were mentioned on NPR, the news station that I listen to every morning, and had no idea it was coming, so that was super exciting. We also announced this week the new game system game packs that in 2021 will be available, and so but that's not the focus of today's stream. Today I'm going to focus on some games you likely have at home, or if you haven't reached out and found how to get your own set of Blinks, these are all games you can be playing at home today alongside as well. I see some usuals back on the live stream, of course. It's great to see you, Jonathan West, also a game designer of one of the new games in the new game packs. And Lee, I see Robert, one of our Move38 2020 summer game interns and also designer of Crownfall. It's always so nice to see everybody on the live streams, and it's also a great place to ask questions, not just of us, but of the people who are watching. So, super exciting to be here. So I'm gonna hop into it. Let me switch over to camera 2. Wow. So today for our live stream, we're going to be doing something. We've sold out of a lot of the sets of Blinks for the holidays, and I'm really excited. There's people have been asking, what's the perfect Blink set to start with? And in all honesty, you can start with any of the sets of Blinks that you'd like. All of the games play well with 6 or more Blinks. Some of them play much better with more Blinks and get more exciting for more people. But one of the cool things about Blinks is if you've got one set of Blinks and let's say your friend has the same set of Blinks, you can still play those games bigger and bring them together. And so I'm excited to demonstrate and also give some history behind maybe one of the less talked about games on our Blinks expansion set. So I hope you are revving your engines out there. Or electric engines. I'm more for electric cars personally. I wore my racing outfit today just for this. And so without further ado, I'm going to break out Speed Racer. So if this is your first time joining one of our Blinks live streams, let me just tell you what Blinks are and give you the spiel. So Blinks are the world's first smart tabletop game system. Each one is an intelligent game piece. These are intelligent game pieces called Blinks. You can kind of see in the, there we go, that they have a really unique glow across the whole top, but they also have the ability to animate in really interesting ways. And so the game we're going to play is Speed Racer. And the way I load it up is I grab the Blink with Speed Racer on it, and I'm going to hold it down for 3 seconds until it goes into Blink sync mode. And then you can see it's looking for other Blinks to teach how to play that game. And so while it's loading, I'll tell you a little bit about Speed Racer. This Speed Racer is both a game that you can play alone as a single player game. You can play it competitively as a versus game. But it also, like a number of Blinks games, was designed to work also as a toy for exploration. So you can create your own experiences and create more games. When Speed Racer loads up, and let me see if there's a good way for me to adjust our lighting a little bit. I think, just in case, I imagine everybody else out there is seeing it's a little bit difficult to see the colors on here. So let me see if the game mat, haha, okay, I think it's actually easier to see without the game mat. So I like playing on the game mat, but because of the way the colors work and the camera, it's much easier for you to see without the game mat. So when the game loads up, each of the pieces become a road. And in most racing games, you're driving the car. But in Speed Racer, it's almost like a futuristic game where the car is an autonomous car. And it's hurtling towards the end of the road, and you need to be building the road. The road, once again, a little autonomous, tells you which direction it needs to turn, which way you need to build. And so right here, you can see I've got these like yellow stripes like the middle of the road, but there's a break in it. And I could adjust it to fix that so that I make a continuous road, and that'll allow my car to pass through and not crash. Similarly, in here, there's a double click will reset the road so that you can build a road in any way you'd like, and then just double click and it'll automatically create the road. And you can see here, the road is saying, I need to build to the right. So I'm gonna start my engines by single clicking. And as my car passes from road tile to road tile, I need to build the road. And I like to play this game as a timing game, so how long I can go. Every piece it goes, it speeds up a little bit more. It gets really quite fast. Whoa. Okay. Here we go. This might be all right. And if you hit the end, you crash. So that was actually a pretty good streak for me. And so in Speed Racer, you can compete for, I met somebody in a bar before COVID who, she had them out at the bar, was playing Blinks, had no idea I was gonna be there, which is really awesome. It was super cool. And she was like, oh, do you wanna play Speed Racer? What's your high score? And I was like, oh, what do you mean by high score? And she said, well, I count every time I move a piece of the road. I count, and that's how I keep track of my high score. And I thought that was real cool. So in Speed Racer, you can play in a number of ways, but what I'm excited to talk about on the stream today, and I hope this is interesting for you all as well, is a little bit about the history of how this game came to be. There's now 30 games published on the Blinks platform, and we've played a lot of them on the live streams. We've got more to play upcoming. But Speed Racer, like the other games, it's really unique, and it's one that Move38 actually designed. Most of our games at this point are now designed by developers in the community, people who have been at game jams. But Speed Racer is one that myself and Dan King, our game design lead, designed and developed in-house. And it went through a lot of iterations. And so I think it's pretty neat to kind of hear how it arrived at where it is. And I'm going to, for that reason, break out some more Blinks. So the idea for Speed Racer came from, I always wanted a racing game on Blinks. And let's see, I'm gonna break out 18 Blinks here. Whoops. Okay, I'm gonna set that one aside. So, and then I need to train it, so let's go ahead and find Speed Racer. Okay, so I'm gonna load Speed Racer onto, whoa now, all these Blinks. Okay, so while it's doing that, you can see it load up. So the idea for Speed Racer came from, I wanted to make a game where you had to be, let me slide that a little bit. I thought it'd be cool if you had to do something where you like were turning them, and I just found this action to be very satisfying. And it was like this action of the clicking and rotating, still a game I'm interested in making. I was like, oh, maybe it's about how quickly you can do this. And I also thought it'd kind of be neat to make like a game with blinks that you didn't need a lot of pieces for, so that you could just play them anywhere. Out of that, I'm sure it was either Dan or somebody else who, was like, what if you, have to add to the end? And the very first version of Speed Racer, oh man, I should bring up the video of it. I've got all the video on my phone. Is late one night, I just, oh, I know exactly what it is. I can't believe it's just coming to me right now. So during the very first Kickstarter, we had 2 games. We had Mortals and Fracture, and then a lot of ideas for games, but no more games actually complete yet. And the game, during the Kickstarter campaign, I made this animation of, let's see, I think I posted it to our Instagram, where I created an animation that looks like this. It's kind of a loading wheel, and I really loved that animation. Like I thought it was very satisfying. I was like, okay, but maybe there's a racing game in there. And so for the longest time, I had this repo existing with the code to pass, this sort of animation where it would go from piece to piece. And I was like, yeah, I think it's a racing game. And Dan, who has a much stronger game design background, more traditional game design background, he's designed all sorts of tabletop games, was like, I think it needs, he built a version of it. He took my really buggy sketch version and built a version of it that played with a start and a finish, and there were it was very much a game with a game world. And I remember sitting down and playing it, and as we were playing it, it was like, this is really cool, but we've got lots of games on the system that have very rigid rules that you follow. And one of the things that I wanted with Speed Racer was I liked the fact that somebody could show up and just, build a road and use it like a toy, create sort of a racetrack. And actually, it looks like we might luck out and get a racetrack here that, well, I'm just gonna do it like this. So like, I like the thought that you could build a racetrack, set it up, and then just set cars going. And, and Dan had the great idea of, he's like, yeah, what if you can launch multiple cars? And you could also, see how many cars you get going, or you can crash them. This is actually kind of a big shock that 3 cars in a row are all the same color. Let me see, I'll start another car. And if cars run into each other, they crash. And I feel like it creates this really neat, exploration and just kind of like space where you can create your own narratives and create your own games. And I believe, I'm trying to think, so in the process of like, it started as, I think this animation is neat, I'd like to explore this space. And before that, I guess that like, I really like the clack and quick moving. Can we make a racing game out of it? Evolved into a really rigid racing game. And then from that point, and this was like 2 months before we were shipping the first Kickstarted Blinks, that Dan and I were like in the office, we're just, and like, I'm like, going back and forth. Should it be a toy? Should it be something that's open? Is it a game? Does it need these very tight rules? And I think we found a really beautiful space in between. And Dan, just did such a great job of like, there's secret things in here. So like if you multiple click, you can launch a faster car. Cars, when they rear end another car, they crash, but the car in front gets to keep going. So let's see. In this case, the faster one, yeah. Let's see. There, finally got another color car. And that was another thing. I think that was maybe Marty's idea was, could we have different color cars? And it's, there's 4 different color cars for Speed Racer. But the game really evolved quite a bit over time. And with 6 blinks, you can play that's the way I like to play it, because it's a fast-paced game. You can even split those up and try and play like 4-player or 4 blinks games of Speed Racer, or try and play a much longer. We're getting a lot of crashes on this. I have a feeling that that one of these is an old developer blink. So the communication might be a little bit off. But yeah, I'm curious to know, let's see, do the bop it style. Good question, cool. So Jonathan West is asking, let's see, with a turning mechanic. Oh, yeah, so I try and play all the games that pop up on the forum. I believe you're right, Jonathan, that there is a turning mechanic game on the forum. And so, yeah, if you have a developer kit, you can definitely check it out and load it up. I'm forgetting the name of it. It's a Bop It style game. It wasn't the Widgets one, but it was another. I think it was another one. Maybe it was part of Fidgets. Let's see. So let's see. I'm just checking the comments. Yeah, it's been a particularly. I hope everybody is planning to take a relaxed holiday this year. The Move38 team really deserves it. Marty, Mary, Elizabeth, Dan, Ishmael, Josh, they've all been working so hard, not on just what's shipping this year, but some things that are so exciting for next year. And I think that the game packs is really just the start, which is exciting. So let's see, what else can I feel like I've shown a fair amount with Speed Racer. I'm kind of curious if anybody watching has any other questions. Let's see, it's called Triple Input. Awesome. Okay, so the turning style game is called Triple Input and is worth checking out on our forum. You don't need to be a developer to check out the forum, and there's lots of fun stuff to follow along on there. Let's see. One other way of playing Speed Racer that I haven't shared, and since I can't do a side-by-side race right now, I'll show another common way to play single player is, and I'll set this up so it's with 6, that my favorite way of playing is when your car gets going, you don't have to only take one piece, you can take groups of pieces. And so that can get you a little bit further, faster. And so I've seen people play this way, which I think is pretty neat. Whoa. I'm not as good at that way of play, I think. Oh, that's actually pretty good. And if I get it into a formation, yeah, here, crash. Okay. If you get it into the right formation, you can actually do the groups of road, and some people find that more easy. I find that to be a little bit more difficult. I like the speediness, but I've seen other people play it really well that way. What about Speed Racer that has junctions? Oh, great question. So that's actually a great, if you've seen some of our other streams, you can check out Dark Ball, one of the games on the community set. When you cluster Dark Ball together, the game just works. In Speed Racer, if you have sort of a big cluster, you can route them into something that creates, but you'll see there's a dead end here. And so to your question, Lee, of what if we had a junction? What if a road right now, there's an in and an out? What about a piece that has two outs? The current version of Speed Racer doesn't support that. And I'm trying to think, I know that this was a part of the development discussion early on, was how to handle multiple ways. And I think the reason why junctions are not part of the version of Speed Racer that we shipped is because we wanted to make it very clear that this is the way to play this game, and that it remains as a hazard, as this is not part of the road. And I think when we built a version of it that had junctions, when you threw something on like this, it would create a junction, and it was a little bit more difficult to see the path itself. And I really like personally the. Also, I think this worked out nicely as like the hazard animation, kind of like cones on the side of the road. But if you have a developer kit, and there's, I believe, over 600 of you now, if you have a developer kit, you can modify. I think on one of our other live streams, I made a piece that counts how many laps you've made in Speed Racer. And we could make a version of Speed Racer, or you could make a version of Speed Racer, that allows for roads to split, and then it randomly chooses which direction to go. I wonder if I can make you can create roads that would live side by side. So I could have this road, and then I could set up next to it. Oh, whoops. So I could do something like this, and then maybe not. And I've actually started this way before. So like you can start two people off together and start the roads. And so the two start racing, and then from that point on, you start to build out. And I think that's kind of a cool way to play as well. So you can build roads side by side, but there aren't currently junctions. Let's see. Was this the first game that really highlighted the systematic nature of blinks? This and Dark Ball was a real revelation for understanding the design possibilities when I started out. Yeah, great question, Jonathan. I believe that when... it's a great question. From the first 12 games that we made, Honey definitely plays with the systems, but actually came later than Speed Racer. That's a great question. It's funny, when I started, because I built blinks as research at MIT, not as a game system. I had initially designed them to explore complexity in hands-on, simple ways. I always thought of blinks from a systems perspective, and so the systemic nature of blinks was very intentional right from the start. From a gameplay perspective, you might be right that Speed Racer really takes the you know, treat them as a system that you're building. But yeah, it's a great question. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's the first, but it's a good one. And I think Darkball, I agree, does such a good job of just allowing you to free play. Oh, and I should give a shout out to 2 game designers, Mary McKenzie and Carol Mertz. When they started designing Paintbrush, the first thing they said was, we want to make a game that you can just pick up blinks and you don't have to know how to play. It's just based on the systemic nature of them. So Paintbrush was very much designed with that in mind, even though there is a very clear set of rules for gameplay. Let's see. Having the single red LED does make it clear where you need to attach. Thanks. Yeah, I think, once again, if you're a game designer, one of the common questions, and we're going to be doing more live streams and resources to support development, because I think, you've only got 6 LEDs on a single blink to work with, and we communicate a lot. And I think, what we've heard from Blink's owners in the community, that we do a really good job of communicating what's happening on Blinks with very little graphics. And the red dead end, I think once you see it, you know where to attach. But I think the first time when I hand it to somebody, it's pretty common to attach like this. And so in addition to the red end telling you which way to go, we also made sure that the roads don't turn into roads. They remain hazards until you properly connect it to the end of the road. And I feel like we really, with all of our games, there's usually with an action, there's a response, a visual response to confirm you did something correctly. In Puzzle 101, they synchronously pulse together to let you know you got the colors matched correctly. In Speed Racer, if I connect them incorrectly, they just remain hazards until I get that confirmation of, cool, I'm going to become a road piece. So I think that was a lot. Maybe I'll hang on for a few more minutes and also tell you about some of the upcoming things as well, just in case anybody watching has any other questions. Even also, I like to use this time to give updates on the Kickstarter campaigns. This year, we were able to run 2 Kickstarter campaigns and launch 3 sets of games individually this year. And if you count Dragon's Lair, which we've made available on our backer kit, it's really 4 batches of games. So I like to give Kickstarter updates here as well. All of the games that opened up for sale in the backer kit, if you have any questions about them, definitely reach out and ask. One of the games that we haven't shown gameplay of fully, and we've taken some video, we'll put that up, is Dragon's Lair. And so I think getting a chance to see Dragon's Lair played is something we'll be posting. It's really neat. It's unlike any of the games that we have currently. And so, let me see. I might actually have it on one of my... Maybe that's a fun way to end the stream while I field any questions from the crowd. I also wanted to share here that one of the things that, not just thanks to the Move38 team, but our manufacturers, they're working on really, really tight deadlines, and they're, just the quality control is so important to us. Blinks are just, the way they feel, the way they look, the sushi roll cases. I've shared in our Kickstarter update that one of the tools that they make the sushi roll cases broke. And so instead of just replacing it with one one tool, we actually replaced it with 4 to hopefully speed up the production. So, you know, we're really, really close on this. And, you know, the one thing I know about hardware is you can always be certain that something's going to go wrong. And we always make sure that we what we're shipping and what we're sending out is really well tested and meets our quality standards. So just wanted to share that update. Hey Jonas, nice to see you. Even the puppy keeping you is always a good reason to be a little bit late. Ernie, our dog, kept me a little bit late this morning for a meeting. Actually, one of our partners, a YouTube channel that we really love called Appy Smarts, it just interviewed me this morning, and so keep an eye out for Appy Smarts. Definitely follow them on YouTube. They make really cool content, and there was a moment this morning that I really loved where right in the intro she says, "I'm here with Jonathan Bobrow, the creator of Blinks, and I really love Blinks. I love them so much." And she goes like this, she says that, and she goes, "I'm not allowed to say that on our YouTube channel." So I figured she can't say that on her YouTube channel. I imagine it'll be cut out of the edited video. But I was laughing so hard. I was like, that's a really nice endorsement. I accept. Let's see. Jonas will rewatch tonight. Super cool. I'm glad you like hearing the stories behind them. I love sharing them. I'd love to see Dragon's Lair played. Could help convince some people to grab it as an add-on. So I think it's worthwhile. I'll stay on to show Dragon's Lair right now, and we have some pre-shot footage as well. But I just, yeah, I'm spoiling my day by playing a little bit. But this is, let's see. Devs put a ton of work into it. Would love to see it on stream. So we'll dedicate a stream to it. Maybe we can do that as our next stream. But on this stream, I'm going to give it a quick playthrough. I think it's real nice to have a dedicated one, and we also love having the game designers on our live streams. So I think that would be a nice way to do it. So Dragon's Lair, which was found on the developer forum, is a game where you are perhaps a knight of the round table. You've been approached to go on a journey and to get as much jewels and gold from a castle as you can. And let me see, there is, let me see if I do this correctly. Oh, maybe not. Oh, I might have an old version of Dragon's Lair here. Okay, so, okay, let me do this. I'm actually gonna grab a developer kit from the office since I've really committed to this. I'm gonna load it onto, I'm gonna load the game on to our Blinks here. So excuse me while I do that. Let's see. So it looks like I have a development version of Dragon's Lair here. Okay, so I've got a blank, and where's a programmer? Let's see. I'm gonna open up Arduino. This is calling an audible. So let me grab the programmer. Oh, good idea. So I'm actually going to use the opportunity to show our developer blink. And let's see. And then I can load that up. Let's see. I know I have a USB cable here. All right, thanks for hanging on. Here we go. So this is the developer blink. I'm going to plug it in. Cool. All right. So we've got our developer blink plugged on, and I was going to program this one with the new version, but I don't need to do that to actually load it up. So I'm just going to connect my developer blink. I'm going to open up Dragon's Lair. Epic Adventure. Cool. Fingers crossed this is the version. So I'm going to upload it here. Cool. And this is pretty neat. You get to see how quick and easy it is to load up a game from the developer forum. So was not planning on doing that live, but I feel like it's fun to see. So I just pressed upload, and now Dragon's Lair is uploading to all of these blinks. And that'll make it nice and easy to play a quick round of it. Cool. Looks like Rob had to go. Aw. Hey, Mary. Awesome. Mary's on the stream. Big shout out, huge thanks to Mary. She's been really helping everybody make sure everybody gets their stuff. It's really, she's, I guess, I can't say that Mary's our newest team member at the moment, as Elizabeth, our designer, has been, has maybe taken that, but yeah. Okay, so here we go. Dragon's Lair is all loaded up, and I think this is the latest version. We'll find out. So when you start out, these are all jewels around the outside. By triple-clicking a piece, you create a dragon. Rad. So the dragon, this spiky-looking thing here, occasionally does a couple of things. It throws fire. It breathes fire. You can see it breathe fire right there. The other thing it does is it will create poisonous smoke. And one other thing that the dragon will do is turn out the lights like this. And so when there's fire or smoke and they're poisonous, your piece, so I'm gonna grab a piece. So this is me. I'm looking to collect as many jewels as I can. And the way I do that is by attaching, and there's a nice little there's the poison smoke. And so to mine the gold, it takes 5 seconds to get it, and then that showed that I successfully got it. I can still collect in the dark. I just have to remember what was there. So to pick up these rubies, okay, cool. And so I'm collecting all of these. I'm trying to collect as many jewels as I can. The jewels are worth 1 point, the emeralds and rubies, but the gold is worth, I believe, 5 points. And I want to get as high of a score as I can without getting damaged. I'm doing pretty good right now. Let's see. So, and you can play this multiple players. I forget what was there. There we go. And if I get something wrong, so if I attach the green to, I take 1 damage. And you can see if I take a damage, there's little lights for my life in between. I have to get the right color to the right side. if I get 3 lives, essentially. I've got 3 health points, or 3 hit points. So let's see. So I'm going to try and get that gold. There we go. And there's a nice little kind of confirmation animation. Looks like that. This one has fallen off the... There we go. And so I wasn't paying attention. I got hit with the poisonous smoke. And so when the game ends, it blinks to you a pattern that tells you what your score was. So 2 green blinks and 1 red blink. And I'm going to look at the instructions. I believe green represents 10 and red represents 1. So I scored 21 points. And if I, yeah, red scored 21 points. Let's see if I can put that back into, oh, okay, there we go. And so at the end of the game, you can compare your score with other people's scores. I just thought that was so clever. I think it's so neat that your piece keeps track of your score. So that's a really quick preview of Dragon's Lair. It's available on the backer kit only to Kickstarter backers who are looking to get their add-ons right now. And it's available as a separate blink. It's not in any of the game packs yet, but it's so it's the only way to get it. And yeah, we're looking forward to lots of people getting Dragon's Lair. It's pretty special. Let me just check the form to see if there are any other comments. Make sure. Let's see. Game looks pretty cool. I agree. Is it part of the new kit? It's a bonus item, and you can get it live in the backer kit right now. Let's see. Oh no, somebody has a weekly call at 1 p.m. That's okay. Well, maybe we like the 1 p.m. spot on Thursday, but we'll find other excuses to do more live streams. Let's see, some good answers in here. The gold ones, yeah, get you all the time, Mary. I agree. I'm like, I know I could probably last longer if I didn't get greedy, but it's tough not to. Let's see, what's the size of the battery? Cool, the answers are coming in. Yeah, cool. I love the games do scoring for you. I use them with my students all the time. Oh, thanks, Josh. That's awesome. Yeah, I think that's really cool. You know, I think having the scoring built into the game really neat. Something that people had asked about with Speed Racer, and it's really cool that it's a feature in Dragon's Lair. So, thanks everybody for joining our live stream. I have so much fun doing these, and it's really, you know, as we're heading into, we just passed Thanksgiving, we're heading into the holidays. Jamie, who joins me on our live streams, my partner, will be celebrating our 8-year anniversary next week. There's a lot to be really thankful for, even in difficult times. And I wanted to say thank you so much to the community. I enjoy these Thursday live streams so much. Of course, spread the words with Blinks. And, you know, earlier today I learned how to play another game remotely over Zoom. And so if there's somebody special in your life that you're looking to gift, now's the perfect time to do it. You can get Blinks at Move38.com. And if we're sold out of a specific item, you might be able to get it on Amazon. If they're sold out of an item, Uncommon Goods is carrying them. And we'll help you find your Blinks. So really, thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe down below. Hit the like. And I'll see you next week at 1 p.m. Later, everybody.